Yo, 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 yo. What up, what up? How we doing today? Holy moly. Alright, let's welcome all to YouTube live stream. What up, Deadly, Rajar, Jank, Mario, Kolev, Robert, Robert. You in the group, right? Yeah, I think so. What's good? What's good? Investor, what up, man? Makes dog. How we doing today? Do I look tired or no? God damn. Anyway. Hopefully you guys had a good trading week. I only took 2 trades this week. That's about it. And obviously it was the entire drop here, which we caught. And today, right? But it's a break even, unfortunately. I still think it should go lower though. I literally entered when this candle closed down here and just put my stop above here, but it didn't hit 2R. I missed it by 6 pips or something, which is unfortunate. A big retracement back here, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm fine with the result anyway. So how has you guys' week been? You had 3 trades, 2 W, 1 L, right? That's good. 3 trade, 1 win, 2 loss. Well, if it's over, if your winners are 2R, then that's break even, right? That's fine. All right, let's go to DXY. We do have news in 45 minutes. Let me remove this one. Right. How's the audio, by the way? The microphone is good, hopefully. 1 W, 1 ongoing EU short. Good luck, should be good. I think it should still go lower. So yeah, should be good. But there's news in 40 minutes, so hopefully it will treat you right. Probably it will. But yeah, I'm not looking for any more entries today. But I am interested to see where we close today, because that's gonna be indicative of what we're gonna do next week. Are we gonna see one more run up into this fair value gap, or are we just straight up dropping next week with the open, right? Greetings from Indonesia. Welcome, man. All across the world. How are you doing? I'm good, man. What is your name? Liban Likato 2027. I'm good, man. Thank you. Yeah, so today I'm gonna give you my thoughts on what I think will happen for the rest of the day. Break down the trades I took. I'll do a little Q&A with you guys, right? If there's any questions, right? I try to go over those. And that's basically it, I think. Probably gonna be an hour, this stream, until 10 AM. We have news at 9:45, so that's gonna be interesting. So yeah, let's make the best of this stream. Do you trade TGIF in Forex? I do not typically trade TGIF because I only want to trade the expansion phase of the weekly candle, which means I would be in a distribution trade, not a retracement. TGIF is a retracement of the weekly candle's range, right? So I don't like to trade a retracement. So let's say for NASDAQ, by the way, this weekly range is probably capped for the downside, right? So there should probably be a TGIF on NASDAQ today, which is returning back into the weekly range. There's a big fat imbalance here as well, right? So selling down here is not sensible at all, right? I think the higher time frame looks very bearish right now, so I wouldn't look for long-term buys or anything. But the likelihood of a retracement today, that's very possible, right? Because we had a massive drop yesterday. So there are imbalances. Let's see if there's SMT on the lows. Yeah, so we do have SMTs on these lows with YM, which means we might bottom out here and then we wait for the premium to get hit again before you want to sell off again, right? So then this should be the draw for AM session with the open. It's a big gap as well. This is not like a POI for a short because it's way too large, right? But you wait for structure to develop there and you're gonna ride the wave down if it presents itself. Of course, if there's no structure for shorts, then obviously you cannot short from here. Daily routine of you? My daily routine, man, is every day is the same, man. Like I wake up around like 8 a.m. my time, which is around 2 a.m. EST, so 1 hour before London Open. I literally drag myself out of bed because I want to sleep, but I know I have to watch the markets, right? Then I go downstairs and make a cup of coffee, then drink my coffee, look at the charts, send in my ideas in the group, enjoy myself on the bathroom, right? Then go scroll some Insta reels while I'm sitting down. Then I go back to my PC, have some breakfast. Then I walk my dog. Then I go back. I will watch the charts again. And then between like 5 and 7 or 8 a.m., I'm just gonna do some work or I'm gonna chill out. Then I'm gonna go back into the charts again just before New York. And yeah, that's basically it. There's literally every day is the same. And then it's weekend, and then I sit in the corner because I want it to be Monday again, right? Because if the market is not open, I can't do anything, right? It's nothing to do, unfortunately. It's these markets, it's the only thing that keeps me sane, only thing that keeps me busy, right? What a drop. This is from yesterday. We need this one. And literally every day is the same. But in the meanwhile, while I'm waiting for the charts, obviously I pretty much play guitar the entire day because I've been really going like obsessed with the guitar playing. So I've been playing like every single day for like 4 or 5 hours every day. One trade and W in CAT CHF. Maybe I'm lucky, or maybe it was in your plan and you took a good trade, right? So it's still a win. What's your thought about DXY? I think it should still go higher. However, the weekly, if you guys were present in Monday's stream, right? I said I would wait and see how Monday closes, right? We were talking about it around here, right? So I said either if we close below this area here, I'm going to look for shorts. If we start to close above here, I'm going to look for longs, right? Now there was no setup present here. And then Tuesday, well, you can already see this price action is not too handsome as well, right? So could not find an entry on Tuesday either. And then I focused on Wednesday, and Wednesday was actually the big trade because we shorted this. Right, we shorted the OB here. So basically what I did is just, I didn't even look at any other time frame than the 4 hour, right? No, this is long, right? So basically this was it. This was the setup. And then I closed down here somewhere, a little bit lower, I think. This was my 2R, 2.5R. I think I closed a little bit lower though, like down here. Yeah, this entire trend line, that was the target, right? So it was a 4 hour play. That's literally the only trade I took, as besides from the trade today, which ended up break even. It tapped me out like literally on the pip here. Kind of unfortunate, but I did not feel like I I wanted to go break even because we already rated this low. And you got to be aware, right? Look at the daily. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive bearish candles, right? And if you look at the weekly candle as well, there's barely any movement up in this weekly candle. So I was not really feeling it that Friday might return back into the weekly range, right? It could be a TGIF. So that's why I went break even after it ran this low. I missed my TP by like 5 or 6 pips. Otherwise, it would have been another W. But for now, it's 1 W and 1 break even for the week. Still up like 3K. So I can't complain, right? Can't complain for a monthly salary in one single day. What's good, 17 talks? How are you doing? How do you overcome anxiety? Well, you can only be anxious if you are unsure what you're doing, right? And you can only be anxious if you put on too much risk. If there's too much risk, you will start to feel you're you don't want to lose it, right? That's where the anxiety comes from. So either tone down your risk or you don't have confidence in your system. So you need to go back to the process, right? That's why the process is so important. You follow all the steps to become confident in executing your system. And if you don't follow the steps and you just start trading funded challenges and everything and then you fuck it up, that's not good for your confidence, which will also lead to anxiety. And that's just is not beneficial. You need to focus on the process. Everybody wants to go way too quick. You got to build it up slowly. Don't you have a girlfriend? I'm married, my dude. So, no, I don't have a girlfriend. I have a wife. Can you break down your trade on EU? Yeah, I just did. No old school RuneScape? Yes, of course, man. It's open. It's AFK open, as always. Why did bonds and DXY both went higher? It makes me hesitate to long DXY this morning. I don't really use bonds that much. Like I look at them, but if they're totally opposite, I'll always go with DXY structure, right? The only thing that if bonds are aligned with DXY, right, inversely, then we'll see a low resistance liquidity run, like a strong move out of the day. So yeah, don't get too fixated on if bonds are not aligned, I cannot trade. Well, you're never gonna trade then, because bonds have not been aligned for like a couple of weeks right now. So, what was my entry confirmation today? My entry confirmation was that we formed a CSDOB here, right? Now it's closed all the way down here, so I was not expecting really a retracement back up. So I just literally entered short over here, put my stop loss above the fair value gap candle, and then I aimed for 2R, which was down here, and then I missed my TP by a couple of pips. Then it took out the low, and I went break even, obviously, as you should, because this should just expand lower. Then it came back to my entry to say, fuck you, bro, and then now it's going down again. So kind of unfortunate, but I do not like to keep my stop loss open if we run a low, and GU did not run the low, right? So we have SMT on the low, and strong rejection. I didn't like it, so that's why I went break even. So I think I did the right thing. I would do that over and over again. If the low wasn't run, right, let's say it left equal highs or equal lows and then it starts to retrace, I would keep my stop loss open. But because it's Friday and we had 5 consecutive bearish daily candles, I was not willing to take the risk to keep it open, right? I'm a student of OTE and I'm having exam today. I analyze my chart the same what OTE analyze now. Let's go, man. Abu Bakr, that's good. That's if you do the exact same thing, that's something, you're doing something right. At least I think I'm doing stuff right because I'm making money in the market. But yeah, if you're doing the same thing, I think you're on the right way. Because you want to be independent at some point, right? Okay, let's see. Yeah, NASDAQ is just chilling until the open, and then we have news, right? We have news at 9:45. struggle with a lack of focus and laziness. Any advice? How to be consistent and making boredom? Your lack of focus and laziness. Well, just think about this. Do you wanna be employed your entire life, work until you're like 65 or 70 years old, and that's it? Do you really want that? That should be enough motivation to keep your goals in check, right? Do you want that? Then be lazy, you know? Then just be lazy, you know? You're gonna work your entire life. But if that's not motivation enough for you, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, either you want it or you don't want it. And if you keep being lazy and you don't show up to grind and work your ass off, then you just it doesn't get handed to you, you know? You gotta work for your shit. That's what you need to do. So either you excel and put your 110% into what you want to achieve, or be lazy, but then don't complain if you have to work for like a shit salary, right? Is my comment not really showing up here? Maybe I missed it. Let me scroll up a little bit. What do you think of GU today? I mean, I'm avoiding this. I honestly still think it should go lower, but it's not something I would want to trade. We left equal lows here, right? So there's a liquidity pull down here. EU looks pretty bearish. Honestly, this looks like it can go lower as well. Hold on, I'm getting a text. I need to respond. Respond now. Do it now. Give me 1 second. It's from the market makers. Should we dump the market today on majors? What do I say? I think yes. Let's do it today. Do you want to do it today? Yes. Okay. Okay. Stop doom scrolling. Yeah, that's also a good advice. If you had an obvious lower target that's just that low and it would not be Friday, would you not move to break even potentially? Yeah. If that low didn't get rated and it wasn't like 5 consecutive bearish candles and it wasn't Friday, if this happened on Wednesday, then I would have left it open for sure. But I don't want to risk the weekly candles range to be capped, right? And then risk getting a loss because it pierced the lows and then it just capped the weekly range and then retraces back. 17 talks. I already talked about bonds and DXY, which you asked. So if you didn't hear, you have to pay attention, man. Why did you trade EU and not GU? Based on SMT, GU was better. Was it? Because I was expecting Euro GBP to trade lower today. So I was not expecting pound to be better than the euro. And this is the thing, right? This is a misconception, in my opinion. People think the strongest asset takes out the high, right? And then it drops. So this asset is too strong, stronger than the other asset that doesn't take out the high. Now that is true. It was at that moment in time, it was stronger than the other asset. But if you do intermarket analysis, cross-currency analysis, and I look at Euro GBP and I'm expecting this to trade lower, right? The pound should be stronger, but it did not take out the high. So it should be weaker, right? But in that moment of time, there could be a retracement higher on Euro GBP, which makes the pound weak enough to not take out the high. While later in the day, it's still going to drop harder than EU and vice versa, right? So I don't think it's a valid statement to say that the asset that takes out the high is the stronger asset. It was at that moment in time, but overall in the entire daily expansion, that asset might be weaker, right? So you gotta be aware. You gotta be aware of what the correlated asset is doing and what the relative strength is between the two of them, right? So that's important, and not just base your thesis of weaker and stronger based on a liquidity purge, right? That's what I think, right? But what do I know? That's just my opinion. Can you tell what model you use and how you see market? I mean, that's like a very, very broad question. But I have my entire model outlined on my YouTube for free, an entire 8-episode course, right? So make sure to watch that. And you'll be trading the exact same way as me, hopefully. I got break even on Wednesday UU sales, entered 15 minutes. Yeah, that's the thing. You entered on 15 minutes. Well, I let my group know we're not going to look at the lower time frame on Wednesday. We're just going to keep it on the 4-hour because the previous dailies lower time frame was absolutely ass, right? It was ass. So we stick with the higher time frame. Higher time frame is almost always cleaner unless that is also consolidating. Then we shouldn't trade it, right? So keep it on the 4-hour and you're chilling, right? Lower time frame sucks. This is my opinion, of course, but I don't trade below the 15 ever, right? And all my losses from back in like 2-3 years, most of my losses were always if it's the 15-minute or lower. Always, right? Always. So 1-hour time frame, 4-hour time frame is goated. So always use that. I always use that as an entry. Sometimes I use 15-minute. Depends on how much volatility there is. If there's too much, if there's a lot of volume, you need to go to the 15 because you will miss. Like if this candle is one big BBC, right? A big black candle, then you miss the entry because it closes all the way down here and you can't get in anymore. Then you use the 15-minute, right? Check Bitcoin. I talked about Bitcoin Monday as well, right? Talked about that we're probably gonna go below this low, unless there's market structure building up for higher, but that didn't occur, right? There was no market structure here, so I think it will go all the way down to like 74k down below this low. So yeah, it's basically just dropping, as I said. I think 2 weeks ago I said Bitcoin would drop as well, right? We were talking about. You can go back to the streams if you're like, oh, you're just making it up, right? But when I was streaming here, I called out this low, then I called out this one, and earlier this week I said this is probably gonna go here unless we start to form bullish structure here, which is not occurring, right? So I'm thinking we're gonna go here. Why are you guys laughing at BBC? It's a big black candle. That's like the shortcut. What are you guys crying about? Law from Italy, mate. Welcome, my Italian friend. Linguini. Yes, I'm Italian. Guys, and fucking Italian racist. Did you guys hear? Okay, we have the open in 5 minutes. I'm on EU short. Should I hold or exit? Why? Listen, why, if you have a game plan, you have a trading model, why would you want to ask somebody else if you should hold or not? It's your model, it's your entry, you put on the risk, right? Obviously, if I was in a trade, yes, I would hold because I'm convinced we should drop on majors, right? But if you already entered, you already assessed your entire model, all your check marks were ticked off, right? Everything lines up for you to enter. So you should have confidence in your own ability to hold the trade. Because if you start doubting when you're in the trade, either you're over leveraging or you don't really trust what you're doing, right? What do you think of EU? Like I just said, like lower with the news probably. Kind of sad it stopped me out break even here, but yeah, it is what it is. Can't get them all, right? Made more than my old monthly salary in a single day on Wednesday, so we shouldn't complain, right? How to find a weekly target? I mean, you look at the weekly and the monthly, you see what the higher time frame draw is. Like, for example, to this week, right? We tapped into this FEG here on GBP USD. So I'm expecting the next weekly candle to go for the previous weekly low instead of the previous weekly high, right? Because we have the key level, order flow is bearish. We have clear structure for lower, right? So the weekly target should be either the swing low, which I'm thinking will get hit, or the previous weekly low, right? If you cannot really find a draw, then it's probably not an asset worth trading. This kind of looks like a consolidation right now, so on the 4H at least. Still think it should go lower, but yeah, we'll see. Can you tell me what model you use and how you see the market? I just said it MKFO1SM. I said I have my entire model for free on my YouTube, right? The entire 8-episode course. Make sure to watch that. That's exactly what I look for. Especially the last episode, you can see exactly how I analyze the market, what I'm looking for, when I want to enter, when I don't want to enter, when I need to change my bias. It's like a 1 hour, 20-minute episode, the last one. Make sure to start at number 1, of course, episode 1. But the last one is a very long simulation session. And you can just follow along with my thought process. So definitely watch that if you haven't. And that's how I trade, because I can't explain it right now because it's too much to do in this stream, right? I will be talking for like 4 hours straight on what I'm looking for, what I'm considering, and all that kind of stuff, right? Gonna break down the Wednesday trade. I already did, but I will do it again in a second. Well, first we'll watch the open on NASDAQ. See what it does. NASDAQ, yeah. So for NASDAQ, right, we have the open in a minute. For me, this is too low in the weekly range to look for more short. So I would prefer if it draws back into premium before it sells off again. Obviously, it's not required if this is consolidating and it can do an expansion phase again afterwards, right? Because we need this daily candle to go all the way up here. It's pretty far away, right? But these big imbalances act like a magnet most of the time. So yeah, for once this is like too deep for me to short, and I would only short in premium. If it does drop from here, I would just miss the trade, right? That's how I would approach it. If you tried using 30-minute time frame as a go-between, or is that overkill with time frames? I would say keep it as simple as possible, right? So I don't need to look at the 30-minute. I can look at it to see if there are imbalances, right? That's something I can do. But I would still prefer the 1 hour. Because I have the most data on that, right? I don't have a big data set on if I use the 30-minute. Can you give me advice about psychology? Like I made a good analysis but didn't enter and regret after price hit my targets. But I don't know why you didn't enter, right? So either you don't trust your system or you over leverage, right? So you don't want, or you have a fear of losing. That's probably the problem. And that is done by following the right process, which is doing demo first, right? If you lose on demo, you don't lose any money, right? So you should gather data on demo first for at least 3 months. And if you cannot stay consistent on a demo, you're not going to get consistent on a live account. Why are you so handsome, Sir Sins? I think I'm average, but thank you. we make up at it with other stuff, right? If you're not super handsome, you gotta have other skills, right? Unless you're butt fucking ugly, then maybe some skills won't be suffice, right? But yeah, that's kind of unfortunate, you know? EU dropping? Yeah, I think it should continue dropping for New York session. Same with GU. But we have news in like less than 12 minutes. So yeah, we'll see. We will see. I'll keep it on NASDAQ for now, see if it can actually push up higher. But for now, it is not really doing too much. I don't expect it to do too much with the open because we have news in like 12 minutes, right? Would you long to premium? Personally, I don't counter trend or do TGIF entries. So no, I would not do that because it's bearish order flow. And if you long to premium, you're going against the higher time frame, right? So I don't do that. I'd rather miss the long against order flow than longing and losing because I'm going against order flow and not sticking to my plan, right? If it drops from here, there's always another opportunity to get in, right? Can you bring the Wednesday trade? I already did twice, but I'm gonna do it in a bit as well. Like give me like 10 minutes. Subtom, analyze CL, please. I fucking hate CL, but okay. Okay. Oh wow. Yeah. Remember, at the first live stream of November, I called this here, and there were 3 daily candles where you could have longed it from. But this is why I don't fucking trade oil. This is such a garbage asset, man. But this definitely looks like it wants to go lower, right? Obviously, because it's already trading towards this volume imbalance, right? And it looks so ugly, man. Not gonna lie. Yeah, okay, so gasoline took out all those highs, right? So there is SMT, and oil is the weaker asset for sure here. Weekly looks like it's rejecting this OB, right? So, I mean, yeah, I would aim for this then, I guess. If you really want to trade this. Yuck. Dirty oil. Don't like it. Now back to something that's more beautiful, which is majors, right? And NASDAQ. What up, Carl? S3W. Hey, I passed a 10K account and made some profits consistently, but after a losing streak, now I miss my model entries because of fear of losing. What should I do now? You need to go. I hope you are journaling, right? Because that's key to get back the confidence and get rid of the fear. You go back into your journal and you're gonna find the pattern that made you go into this losing streak. And it can either be you were not in the right market conditions, right? Let's say the daily time frame was in a consolidation and you didn't really have a clear daily draw. That could be one thing. Or you fucked up on risk management, right? That's also something that can happen. So go back into your journal, try to find a pattern of either these two things, and I'm pretty sure you can find it. Or look at the correct premium and discount levels you used. You could be entering too early, right? When give away 30-minute education with you? I gave away a 1-hour call for Marco in the first stream, right? But I can do another giveaway next week. It takes up a lot of time, the giveaway, the one-on-one calls, right? So I don't want to do them too much. But next week I can do another one, right? We'll pick one of you guys in the YouTube chat, and then we'll do that. Check GBP CHF. I don't really want to, but I can look at it. I hate CHF pairs. It's just terrible, terrible asset. Yeah, I got nothing on this for you. Sorry, man. I don't like that. Can we talk about your thoughts on the price action of EU and GU yesterday? I mean, it was good. It was beautiful. Nice drop off. Yesterday. Wait, it was Wednesday was beautiful. Yesterday was not beautiful. There was nothing yesterday. I had no setups here. But Wednesday was good. So yesterday's price action, not interesting at all. Hi, I want to know your view on GU. I think it should go lower. But it's in a messy place right now, so honestly I wouldn't touch it. Let's see what the news does first. The weekly range might be kept, right? Because we have a big down move at the entire week, just like EU. And Euro GBP does look bearish, right? So GU is the high resistance liquidity pair for lower. So I would just sideline this. I don't really have a strong conviction we're gonna go bullish or bearish. The losing streak started after I started sharing my idea with my friends and they started giving me opposite ideas. Now I really doubt every one of my analysis. Well, don't share with your friend anymore, right? It sounds simple, but that is the fix. don't, because if they get opposite ideas and their ideas keep losing, why do you want to listen to them even, right? I share my analysis with a couple of people. Actually my entire group, obviously, but that's because it's my analysis and I don't really look for counter feedback. I think I discussed my analysis with maybe 2 people, and that's it. But that's only 2 people I respect and know have proven results, right? Am I doing swing trading? Nope, I don't swing trade. Still using Alpha Capital Group? Nope, I don't. Alpha Capital Group has been perished in August price action. Share analysis with wife and dog. With my wife and dog, yeah. Yeah, my dog, he actually pushes the button. Like, he gives the go ahead, right? Wednesday breakdown? Yeah, we'll do it in a bit, bro. Like, give me like 10 minutes, man. Like, we have news in 5 minutes. I want to watch that, and then I'm going to break down the Wednesday. I already broke it down earlier in the stream twice, right? So, be patient, my friend. When Tom says, not sure, you guys better stay and sit on your hands. I mean, typically when I sit on my hands, it's almost always the right call that I didn't do anything. But I can't say what anybody needs to do, right? But I'm gonna wait and sit on my hands until news has been released. And probably the weekly range might be kept anyway, right? And if there's such a big sell-off happened earlier in the week already, there is a possibility it can do it again, but this was the move, you know? This is the move to get in. And that's where I got in today. Or today, Wednesday. Yes, I got in today from Wednesday. Yes. You got in EU buys because of SMT on the daily and hourly chart with GU. Entry point was the breaker, but it failed. Any idea why? Yeah, because we're in bearish order flow on the higher time frame. Why would you want to be buying? I'm not sure why. Does this look like buy side of the curve here? Like, this is a market maker sell model, right? Why would you want to be looking for buys? That's why it failed. You're buying when the market is bearish. He ain't seeing my comment. Sorry if I miss it, man. Like, I'm trying to read as fast as I can. Faster, faster, read faster, man. Right, news in a couple of minutes. Interested to see what they do, but I'm gonna sideline for now. Maybe they'll push up the NASDAQ with the news and then they reverse it at 10 a.m. That's also a possibility, but the higher time frame is still bearish, right? How many trades do you get in the last year? I used to get 5 trades a month, but in this year I get 1-2 trades a month. It really affects my mentally, but strategy works flawlessly. Why? My dude, if it works flawlessly, right? Use it. It's perfect. You don't need to have 5 trades every month. If you have like 1 or 2 with enough capital, if you make 4% a month, let's say you have 600K in funding, you make more than 20,000 after split. So if I can take 1-2 trades a month and I make 4%, right? I'm good, man. Like this, perfect. You just need more capital, not more trades. It's just it's a flaw in your thinking process here. You don't need more trades or percentages. You need more capital. You know you're bearish, but dollar already took out major buy side while EU and GU did not. I just wanted to intraday scalp. Well, yeah, but if you want to intraday scalp, go with order flow. Don't go against order flow. Even in, listen, 2022 ICT mentorship, right? The first thing he says, you want to look for your scalps in the direction of the weekly and daily candle. So if you guys just stop going counter trend, higher time frame, watch your win rate increase 100%. Like not 200%, but your win rate will increase. Yeah, not 200%. That would be something. That would be something. All right, let's see what the news will do. It's PMI, if I'm not mistaken. Which prop firms are you using? FTMO, the Fivers currently. Those are two of the only ones I actually want to use. I'm thinking about I was thinking about extending towards futures props, but then I think about those rules they have. I don't want to do that. Can me fund that account? I am kind of homeless. Okay, but you should not be trading if you're kind of homeless, bro. Like, this is the thing. If you trade because you have a stable life and you have money to invest, that's when you should start trading. You don't start trading because you're piss broke. That doesn't work. You need to have a stable life. Stable life is stable mind. Stable mind is stable execution. Because you're not making decisions out of emotions. Right? So please get your life in order first, and then you start looking at trading. There's no reason you should be trading when you're broke as shit, right? Bro, let me tell you, when I started trading, I bought a house, I had a car, I have savings, right? Everything was stable, and then I was looking to expand a way to increase my money, right? That's the only thing. If I was very broke, I would get a job first. I would set up a stable income. I would make sure I have savings. I would make sure I could buy a house or a car or whatever you need, right? That's what you need to do. You can't start trading when you're broke. They're only like, if you look at the statistics, right? Everybody who trades prop firm accounts, like 5% gets funded or something, and only 1% makes it to a payout, right? And then even less than 1% keeps the account for more than 3 months. The odds are so stacked against you. If you don't have a stable life, I think it's like a 1 out of a million people could maybe go from broke to successful in Forex. But most people I know who are successful in Forex, they all have stable lives already before they own businesses, before they went to trading, right? All all entrepreneurs and people who are highly motivated and stable in their financial situation. Like, trust me, like that's the way. Can you do market expectation for next week? I will do on Monday, next week, Monday. Next week is the last week I will be streaming, and then I'm probably gone again for the next 6 months. What was your aha moment from not profitable to profitable? I would say focusing on the process rather than the P&L. That's probably the biggest thing that helped me go from not consistent to consistent. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we had a little bit of a move down. There's not much happening with the news right now. Looks like a potential AMD for higher, right? Because it consolidated here, then it ran the lows, and then expansion higher. Looks like a probable scenario to me. I would not short here. That's something I would not do. GU looks clean. Let's see. What do we have? Yeah, but then if I look at EU, it looks very bearish, right? So correlating the assets, I don't really feel confident in. The only way GU is going higher right now is because the pound is just very strong and the euro is not that strong, right? So you can see euro GBP is dropping, which in turn makes EU go lower and GU go higher, right? So there's a crack in correlation right now. Yeah, it's also Friday, right? So the weekly range might be kept, but yeah, I'm not entertaining anything here. Are you going to trade throughout December? Only the first 2 weeks probably. Depends. If the third week is clean as well, then probably yes, but most likely only the first 2 weeks. Advice for someone focusing on lower time frames: aim for previous session highs and lows. That's the thing you should be doing if you're trading lower time frame. Don't go for like weekly targets if you enter on a 1 minute time frame. Go for previous sessions liquidity. Can you break down Wednesday's trade? Yes, because you asked me 17 times right now, I will do it. My bad, sir. Okay, so Wednesday's trade, right? This is pretty simple. It's broken down. I broke it down on my Twitter as well. If you're not following me on Twitter, right, make sure to go to the description down here in the live stream. My Twitter handle is there as well. But basically, the entire setup was I waited Monday to see what the candle does. It inversed this daily fair value gap, right? So I use this as an IFEG, right, for lower. Then on Wednesday or Tuesday, there was no entry because structure was not present and it was consolidating, right? Then on Wednesday, it started to trade below this low, close below the low, and we had this OB formed, right? So basically, this is literally SMT on the high inside of a key level, 4-hour OB entry, like this. Stop loss here, aim for 2R, done. That's the trade. Like, it's super simple. But the key thing is you have an IFEG on the daily, so you have a higher time frame key level. You have SMT, right? Important. Strong highs and lows get formed with SMT. And then I use a 4-hour PD array in premium to short. That's it. That's the entire setup. Very clean, very simple, but it works. This year's tough, don't you think? I don't think so. I made a lot of money this year. More than in 2024. That's for sure. You usually skip NFP, not participating, since it's Friday. It's a Friday as well. Well, yesterday was NFP, and yes, I tend to skip it before the release. But nothing much happened yesterday. If you look at EU yesterday, it was not tradable, right? There was nothing here for me to trade, so I did skip it. Today, not seeing anything after the entry I took earlier in London, but the weekly range might be kept, like I said earlier. So I'm not entertaining any executions for the rest of the day. What was your trade frequency this year? Oh, I have to go to my journal, bro. Like this, I can't say. Like some months I took like 5 trades a week, and some months I took like two trades in the entire month, right? Looking like Canelo Alvarez. Who the fuck is that? No, I gotta look up who that is. Canelo Alvarez. Canelo. Who is that? Oh, it's a boxer? I'm not sure. He has hair though, so I'm not sure. I see it. Okay, yeah. Okay. You should consider doing a live stream once every 2 weeks for your YouTube community. Yeah, I'll think about it. But for me, YouTube still is a hobby, right? And if I don't feel like I want to do it, then it becomes something forced, and I don't want to live stream when I feel forced, right? If NQ 15-minute displays is higher now, that's what would you typically trade coming out of a low risk buy? Yeah, I would always want to see a low risk buy print first before I engage. Right, and if you look at a short-term market maker buy model, let's say on the 15, this is the low risk buy, so this would be the entry. Yeah, this would be the entry. But like I said, I don't counter trend, so I would use this pattern if this was bullish, right? Like if the higher time frame wasn't going like this downwards, but rather upwards, like it did here. Right, then this becomes A plus for me, right? This becomes A plus. What up, what up? When do you shift your higher time frame bias? When I am wrong about my, when I'm starting to, when the daily doesn't go where I think it will go, I'm probably wrong, and then I shift my bias. Depends on PD arrays. Outline your strategy. It's on my YouTube, brother. Make sure to watch the entire course. Are you looking for short and due? No, I just said like I'm not entertaining any executions on majors today because I feel like the weekly range might be capped, right? We had 5 consecutive down close candles. This does not look proper for lower right now. EU looks more bearish, right? So it's just a crack in relative strength here. I'm just gonna let this play out today, and we'll see next week again. How does a short of EU 5-minute fair value gap look like, targeting previous hourly low? Oh, I don't use the 5 minutes, so I can't give my opinion on that. I don't give opinions on shit I don't use or I'm proficient with. What type of chef were you? I worked in a international/French kitchen. Thankful for the free stream, a lot of gems. Super grateful if there's more often of this. I mean, there is more often in my private group, but yeah, obviously that's not free, right? But I do live stream there like 3 times a week. And I will continue to do so every single week until Christmas. And then I start again, like the 2nd week of January. So Yeah, and if you feel like, if literally this is what you should do, you should always study on your own, go to the source, which is ICT, right? If you studied everything and you still feel like you're not progressing or you feel stuck, right? That's when you find a mentor who can guide you. And always look for somebody who can predict price beforehand, has proven results, right? Shows some payouts, shows he can call price beforehand, right? Those mentors, that's someone you want to have. Someone who understands and actually makes money with trading. So do your due diligence when you try to look for a mentor, right? I happen to tick off all those boxes, right? But there are many people who are disingenuous in this industry, unfortunately. But like I said, always go with the source first, right? And the Inner Circle Trader, ICT's YouTube. There's a lot there. Why have you not quit your job yet? Brother, I have not worked in a kitchen for like 3 years or something. I have quit my job. Like I don't work anymore for somebody else. I make money trading. And obviously with my mentorship, like there's no way around it. Like it's just how it is. Quick look at GJ. Yeah, we can recap GJ because I called on, when was it? Was it this week or last week? I think it was this week. No, last week. 7th of November, yeah, I think we talked about it. I talked about, somebody asked what GJ is going to do, right? Right now, I don't know because it purged the highs. That was the draw on liquidity. So for now, I don't know. But this was the move, right? So this happened. Called this 2 weeks before. So that should be the draw. So go back and study why is this the draw then, right? Cooking stream soon? Huge donations would come. Nah, don't donate. Like I don't need that. No donations on YouTube. YouTube takes a lot. Like takes half of it. Greedy. No donations. Thank you. I don't think this is a good trading day. I agree, man. I agree. We're probably gonna wrap it up as well. Like the price isn't doing anything right now. Okay. Yeah, we'll wrap it up over here. I don't think price is solid for today to trade. At least not for my system. Hopefully you guys like the stream. Again, I will be back on Monday. Make sure to be there. It's the last week I will be streaming, and then I'm probably gone for the next 6 months again. So you can always follow me on Twitter or Instagram, right? Links are in the description. If you do need a mentor, there's a link down below as well. Make sure to hit that, and I will guide you through all your struggles. But for now, I wish you all a great weekend, guys, and see you guys next week. Let's see what we can get. See you Monday. Oh yeah, and hit the like button, otherwise the market makers are gonna get you.